Welcome to the Root of Power podcast, where I teach you how to chase your joy, find alignment, and create a life and a business that you love, using actionable methods, interviews, and inspiring stories from people who know that true freedom is found within. I'm your host, your always hype woman and sometimes ass kicker, Amanda Chills, and I am so proud of you for choosing to step into your power. Come along, we've got dreams to build. Okay, my love, I have put everything that I offer for free on one page so that we are not doing more work than we have to, because why would we do that? Hashtag work smarter, not harder. So livemyhappyhealth.com/free. You are going to find everything I've created for not only leveling up in your personal life and building a life that you love, but leveling up in your business life and building a business that you love. Okay? livemyhappyhealth.com/free. Love you. Hi. Welcome to this week's episode. I want to say thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me, or letting me hang out with you. That feels better to say. I hope you're well. I hope that you have found something to smile about today. And I hope that if you have not yet, you intentionally find something to smile about, even if it's just the sound of my voice in your ear. I'm going to read you a quote, some sentences. I'm going to read you some words that I saved a long time ago, and wanted to give my thoughts around because they are fucking fire. So we can just dig right into it. Let's party. So this is a post by Mimi Zhu, and this hit me like a train when I heard it. It says, "Not everyone will like you. Likeability is not the antidote for loneliness." Damn. She continues to say, "I have contorted myself to appease many people, and despite winning their affections, I felt drained and even lonelier. Attaching my self-worth to being liked made me feel lost when someone disliked me. I had to urgently ask myself, who am I when I'm disliked? Who am I when I'm not bending over backwards to fit into the molds of people's idealizations? Who am I when I stop fragmenting myself into perfect versions of myself for others? While we must be honest about our flaws, we must accept that not everyone will like us. Let us focus on the people who love us for the growing people we are." Y'all, when I tell you this is what so many of my clients deal with, I am in no way joking. People pleasing feels like safety. People pleasing feels like connection, but it's not. It's fake. It's built on a lie, because you're not letting people know you. Okay? You are selling people the version that you think they will enjoy most. And it's a lie, because you're immediately creating a disconnect. You're immediately putting up multiple layers, multiple walls to keep them from knowing you, which makes you intensely lonely. And not only are we perhaps more isolated than we have ever been in human history, just as a whole, that then compounds by putting up layers and layers and layers of lies. People pleasing at its core is manipulative. And that typically shocks people when I say that, because they don't want to think of themselves as being manipulative, but that's what it is. Let me try and figure out what you'll like, and then only ever be those things around you. It fragments who you are. You contain multitudes. You're wonderful and terrible and delightful and annoying and lovely and grumpy. You're all of those things. Now, that doesn't mean don't put your best foot forward. It only means that be who you are. Because when you're not, when you fragment yourself, when you break your back to be who you think people want you to be, you're disconnected. You're dishonest. You are uncomfortable because you're always performing. You're always masking. When do you take that mask off? And for most people, they get really confused on who's the real them and who is them with the mask. So it literally fragments who you are. And then people, when people come to me, they say, I feel so lost. I don't know who I am. I want to feel like myself again. But they've probably never been themselves because they've never felt safe enough to do so. And so they have masked for the majority of their lives. They have no idea who they are. And discovering who they are is a process that requires healing, authenticity, boundaries, not caring what other people think, releasing other people's judgments, knowing what's your responsibility and what's their responsibility, i.e. their feelings are their responsibility, even though we may influence them. So that is a two-way street. But people pleasing, making likability the antidote for loneliness, ironically, makes you more lonely because it cuts you off from actual, authentic, true connection. You cannot have someone connected to you. You cannot connect to people if you are not authentic. And that does not mean showing people every vulnerability you have. It doesn't mean like sobbing in front of someone all the time. It doesn't mean like telling them everything about you so that they know you. That's not being vulnerable. That's just trauma dumping. That's not the same thing as like letting someone see who you are in the moment, letting someone see who you are that day, during that time period, whatever. So just telling somebody facts about you doesn't actually tell them shit about you. Telling someone what you've been through like it's a list doesn't really tell them who you are. Letting them see who you are tells them who you are. And so many people who have unhealed trauma, who are in people-pleasing mode, think, oh, well, the way to make friends, the way to have relationships with people is to be likable. Oh, there's a lot of problems with that statement. One, not everybody will like you, even if you're the most likable, agreeable person on the planet. They may still decide not to like you. And then that tends to cause a spiral where you say, oh God, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Why don't they like me? You may not have done anything wrong, quote unquote. You may have done everything right, quote unquote, and they still don't like you. So then crisis mode, oh God, I have to try harder. But then you try harder and they still don't like that. And you think it's your fault. It's not your fault. Some people just won't like you no matter what you do. And whether someone likes you or not is never something you can control. You may be able to influence it, which is where people pleasing comes in, right? Oh, if I do everything right, if I do everything they'll like, if I never do something they'll dislike, then they'll like me. And that gets mistaken for connection. That gets mistaken for relationship, but it's neither because it's built on a lie. You are lying to people around you. You are lying, you're conning them into liking you. That's not a real authentic relationship. It's manipulative. That's not okay. And then you'll blame yourself if it doesn't work, but some people will not like you no matter what you do. Some people just have bad taste. You can't help that. So you're putting your self-worth into something you can't even control. It's like saying, oh, I'm a winner if the sun shines every single day. You can't control the weather. You can control how you react to the weather, but you can't control the weather. You can control how authentic you are. You can control your actions. You can control not being an asshole, but like you can't control whether or not people like you because it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with their filter, with their perception, which you cannot control. You have no access to that, but people pleasing makes you think you do. And so people get into this cycle of worshiping at the altar of likability, not knowing that it's a false god. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because you're lying to people, which means you never let people get to know you, which means there's no real genuine connection, which makes you lonely. So then, because you think the problem is you're not likable enough, You'll try and be more likable. You'll break your back more. You'll fragment more. You'll go into perfectionism more. And they don't like you, and you break your back, and they don't know you. So there's no connection. And so you feel lonely. And then the cycle starts again. You decide it's because you're not likable enough. Give more. Be different more. Figure out what they want more. But no connection. Loneliness. Cycle starts again. You see how this cycle becomes a cyclone from hell. It's not okay. The solution is to just not even play. Not everybody will like you. That's okay. You're not going to die from people not liking you. It may feel like you're going to die, but you're not going to die from people not liking you. What's more likely to happen, what's guaranteed to happen, is once you start being who you actually are, once you start being yourself, regardless of if people like you or not, people are going to actually like you because they're actually going to know who the fuck you are. Right now, they don't know you for shit. You've been lying. They don't know you. So they can't like you. So when you are yourself, you have genuine connection because people get to know the real you, and loneliness is no longer present. It goes away because you have genuine connection. And the way to have a genuine connection is not to be likable. It's to be who you are. So people can really decide for themselves, do they want to be in your energy or do they not? And the beautiful thing is, the people who don't want to be in your energy won't be. Thank God. Amazing. Then you don't have people butting up against your energy that don't vibe. Versus when your goal is likable, you end up with a lot of people in your life that you don't even like. And then you're bending over backwards for them, fragmenting yourself for them, suffering for them, but you don't even like them. You just want them to like you, but you don't like them. So when you are yourself, you have genuine connections with people that genuinely like you and that you genuinely like, which means the people in your life are people that you choose, not just people who choose you because you've been lying to them. It's a totally different vibe. You may have less people, but I suspect you'll also have more people and less people that are honest, that are real, that connect with you versus a whole bunch of people who have no connection to you because they don't know who you are because you've been lying is a million times better. One genuine connection over 100 fake is much more valuable, So likability is not the antidote to loneliness. It only makes it worse. It only perpetuates it. You will suffer in every relationship where you prioritize likability over authenticity. Authenticity is actually the antidote to loneliness. Being genuine is actually the antidote to loneliness. So I encourage you, I hope for you that you start weighing your relationships in your life and really questioning, like, how honest are you with the people in your life? Again, that doesn't mean tell them every thought you have or everything you've been through. It only means be who you are. Be who you are. Now, if you don't know how to do that, because that is a skill set, hi, you can work with me. You can work with another coach. You can work with another therapist, like whatever. You can read some books. All are good options. But if you don't even know who you are, because you've been fragmenting for so long, you've been prioritizing likability for so long, breaking your back for everybody for so long, it's going to take a little bit of time and some skills, learning some skills to undo that. It is very possible. I teach it all the time. So it is very possible to do. You can do it. It's just going to take some time and some practice, but that's okay. You can do hard things and you can do things like that, where the amount of freedom and the amount of like genuine connection that you have on the other side is so worth the work. Oh my gosh, it's so worth the work. So if you're like, I don't even know who I am, well, great. That's a good place to start. Find someone to work with. There are lots of books, lots of journals who can help with that. If you're not sure where to start, just shoot me a message on Instagram at Amanda_Chills, and I will help you out as best I can. So remember, likability is not the antidote to loneliness. Being genuine, being authentic is. Authenticity is the antidote to loneliness. If you are like, oh, damn, I'm a people pleaser, you have been lying to everyone in your life. I don't say that as a judgment. That is just a fact. Your life will get so much better once you stop lying. You'll have real, genuine connections. You'll have people that actually like you because they know you. And you are a wonderful, sweet cinnamon roll who is worthy of being known and loved and cared for and cherished. That's what I see for you. People who are like, you're so cool and so fun. And I just love being in your energy because now they're in your real, actual energy. You can probably hear the semi going by. If not, it's loud. So start thinking on that, right? Where can you be more authentic? Because you want to be more connected. Okay, sweet thing. Have the most beautiful day. And if you want help with that, again, you can work with me. You can work with someone else. If you're not really sure where to start, send me a message. I will help you out. Okay? Have a great day, sweet.